Hello, Marissa. Yay! Fantastic. Yeah, you guys are absolutely amazing. Okay, so this entire week, I just want you to sit and process this for a second before we even get to today. You freaking interviewed your decks. You got to know them. That is a step above a bunch of brand new tarot readers that have never talked to their decks. They just immediately pull them out and they get snippiness back. You interviewed your decks and it's amazing. Okay? You went ahead, you created your own spreads and intuitively asked yourself questions. Like, you got to the heart of your questions and you worded them correctly. Like, that's freaking amazing. You know, that's how long it takes some people to figure out how to word a tarot reading. Like, you guys did that awesomely. Let's see. Yesterday, we had a bunch of people figure out how to meditate with their cards. And you guys got an awesome bunch of info. Did anybody take a look at the videos I sent you about the monkey brain? And meditating every day and making it super easy for your practice? If so, let me know in the comments. Tell me. Because meditation, because we broke it down and I gave you guys examples and you have a bunch of mindfulness exercises now, it's so much easier now, right? That should be like a weight off of your intuitive shoulders. Because it's not that hard and you guys really stepped it up. Because even freaking day 2, oh god, what did we do day 2? You made your own tarot journals and they're beautiful and they're perfect just for your practice and you guys are like remembering your stuff now. Like, this is amazing. You're doing awesome. And there are so many people out there who are tired of reading keywords and having to memorize them. You guys have taken a step past that. Like, you've taken a billion steps past that because you completely have shifted your practice. You're starting to use your mind, you're trusting yourself, you're trusting your cards, and that's fucking fantastic. Like, I'm so incredibly proud of everybody here in the group. And even the people that are catching up, keep going. You're doing wonderful. I'm going through and I'm reading them. I'm getting emails and messages from a bunch of you that are like, oh my god, I've never understood my cards like this before. Like, I feel like a whole new door is opening up for me, and I'm glad. Like, this is why I became a tarot mentor. This is why I started doing challenges like this, especially those of you like Ilanid, who have been here since the group opened and you've gone through all the challenges in the workshop so far. I don't think you guys realize how powerful of readers that you are now. It's freaking fantastic. Ah, it's a Christina! Hi! Ilanid says, yes, I love the monkey brain video. He's such a cutie. I know. He's adorable. I had a sneaky meditation on my way home from work today. Awesome. Like, even if you were driving, it would have been amazing. Like, just notice your breath, don't even have to close your eyes, and meditating. It's perfect. I love it. Hello, Latanya. I'm like, so many amazing readers in this group, men and women. You guys are awesome. Like, and at the same time, you guys are so scared. Like, there's so many of you, I'm getting messages that are like, I'm so afraid of taking up space in the group with silly questions, or I'm so afraid to ask and be wrong and not try because I want to be 100% accurate. And that is such a myth. Like, you are 100% valid because you are putting in the work. You are doing your best. You are using your third eye. You are activating your abilities, you are trying, and that makes you a powerful as fuck reader. You are amazing, okay? And despite the interruptions in your everyday lives, as you can plainly hear, you are 100% valid and you're doing amazing. Because when I first started as a tarot reader, I was told 1,000,001 things that I couldn't be. Like, there are so many rules and stipulations, and if you go in some places on here, on Facebook, go on YouTube, everywhere, like even in-person meetups that I've been to, they are so strict on their tarot reading practices, and it's disheartening. Especially if you're really, really new, like just got your cards, and you're so excited, and then you're thrown a bunch of things that you can't be. Like, or that you have to be. And we're going to go over a couple of those today. And that's a part of your workbook as well, is you go through some of these. Let me grab the workbook so you guys can take a look at what I mean. Let's go to the right page. There we go. Oh, thank you, Christina. Let's see. Oh, it's okay, Anna. It's better late than, disappearing into the void and never coming. So you're totally fine. I don't mind. Oh, thank you, Marissa. I'm glad that you're getting a bunch out of the workbooks. And I want to remind you guys also, this is all the stuff that I have in my course. Like, literally, first module, you sit down and you interview your deck with me. Like, straight off the bat. Latanya says, I'm so sorry I missed the challenge. No, you can start the challenge at any time that you want. Okay, you can join the mailing list for it, Latanya, and you can do it whenever the hell you like. Okay, it's not gonna go away. It's not like my workshops, like for the Shadow Work workshop. That's only exclusive now to people a part of the Start Reading Tarot Intuitively course, or if you buy it separately. Okay, this will be here forever. So go to the event. I know I went ahead and invited you to it. Go to the sign up link and go through it. You will get all the replays, you'll get the workbooks, you'll get everything. Okay? Never worry about it disappearing. And I sat down during my vacation and I plotted out every single challenge and workshop and series that we will be doing all this year. There's gonna be a bunch more. So don't worry about missing content, because it will be here. Even, this is even the link to the introduction post that after today will get pinned back up to the top. Okay? So it's there. Just go ahead and sign up and go through it. But in that workbook, I asked you a couple of questions about some myths that you've been told that made you feel like a really crap reader, And I'm going to go through some personal ones today that really threw me off. Like, for example, I had to have one bogus rule was you have to have your cards in a special spot. Like, they have to be wrapped in silk and be put into a specially made box and put onto a shelf and stay away from everything. Like, nothing can touch it, otherwise it'll contaminate it. No. No, to put it really simply, you don't have to do that. You know what I carry my cards around in? Like, if they don't live in their box, like, my Dreams of Gaia sitting right here, if it's not living in the box, it's in a Crown Royal bag. And they go with me everywhere. They go in my purse. They go in my pockets. They are around the house. Like, we kind of keep it a little structured so my husband's decks aren't near my stuff and vice versa. But still, they're everywhere. There is no organization with it. But the main reason is, like, I'm not going to spend money because someone else demands that I do. Okay? My cards are comfortable where I am comfortable putting them. Okay? Like, and it's also because I have had a history of playing with different types of cards. And not even before Tarot, I got into Magic the Gathering. And I put all of it together into this giant white box. And if it was a deck of mine, I just wrapped it in a rubber band. Now, I treat my cards very good. Like, if they touch the floor, I freak the hell out. But I don't feel the need to go out and buy something super, super fancy just because somebody else feels they need to do that with their deck. You know what I mean? Catherine says the myths, very true, I've heard of them, yeah. Anna says, oh yes, I tried to do that, and heaven forbid if anyone else but you touched them, the world's coming to an end. Now, and you Have to be gifted the deck? That's another myth. Bull crap. You do not have to be gifted your very first deck. That happened to me, and my deck hates me. Well, not anymore, not as much because I've had it for years. But in the very beginning, it's like, you're not Izzy! Why do you have me? Like, no. That's not how it has to go. It is perfectly valid to go online and buy something off of Barnes & Noble. Totally fine. And it makes you just as valid with that deck. It makes you just as valid as a reader. Yes, you don't get the experience of going in and sensing the energy of the decks and moving your hands over them. Yeah. When I first started reading, I was in a tiny, tiny little town with under 800 people in it. And the only reason it had that many was because it had a college in the town. But I didn't have access to a metaphysical shop where I could go like this over the cards for like a good 30 minutes trying to figure out the perfect one. I quickly went into Barnes & Noble, looked at the deck, decided I want that deck, went online and ordered it. Perfect. It worked for me. Illinit says, if your cards are around your everyday life, then they'll surely absorb all the energies in your life, which is a good thing. Yes. Hers are on the kitchen shelf. Exactly. That's another great spot. As long as they are clean and dry and safe, it's totally fine. Nemo says, someone touches your deck and a unicorn dies. Oh no. Oh no. Let's not make unicorns die, but I get what you mean. Like, it's so overdramatic. And it says, to me, the most serious myth was cards are evil. Yes. So true. That's another myth. And I go over that in the actual, like, handout that you guys... I have some different ones right here. But because of how I was raised, I was told anything from Scooby-Doo to Casper to a necklace sitting there that may or may not look like an amulet is evil. Okay? And when it came to tarot cards, forget about it. Don't bring them in the house. Don't touch them. Like, don't touch them with a stick from 15 feet away. Don't do it. Because it was like, they're evil. Here's the thing. It's like with magic and energy work. It's like with a person. If you give a person a hammer, they're not a bad person. Okay? The hammer is not evil if that said person goes out and smashes someone in the face with it. It's not the hammer's fault. It's the hand that smashed the person in the face. Okay? It's a little bit of logic. The hammer is an inanimate object. Okay? Our cards will sit there. Okay? They have their own personalities. Yes? But it's like a rock that just sits there. Like, and if no one's gonna touch it, it's just gonna sit. Okay? And yes, bad people, well, not bad, but people with negative frequencies of energy will use the cards, and they will be scammers, and they will screw people out of their money and give people like us a bad name. That will happen. But that's like a 1%, okay? The rest of us, we're totally fine. The cards are not going to influence you. I give the same kind of speech when it comes to Ouija boards, which I know is a little bit controversial. I believe if you go down an alley and you are in a bad neighborhood and you're looking for bad people and you expect to find someone bad, you're going to find someone bad. Same thing if you go look in a good neighborhood. Ouija boards work that way. Tarot cards work that way. Like, all tools work that way. If you have a negative intended purpose for it, you're gonna get something negative in return. Super easy to understand. It's not the card's fault if you want to be Maleficent. Like, it's really not. Another one. You can only read at an altar or cleansed space. If this was the case, I would never read. I don't own an altar. Like, I honestly don't. I haven't since I started practicing. And the reason for that is, first off, I was a poor college student and did not have the space or the time to create an altar like I wanted to. I didn't have an athame, I didn't have a wand, I didn't have nothing. My ideal altar would honestly be a shelf somewhere. Super easy. Because it's up. Little grubby little kid fingers can't get to it. And animals after a certain point, if you ever get animals. And it's safe. And it works for me. I would want it to be portable like that. My current altar, if you want to call it an altar at this point, is sitting right here. And it's a box. All my stuff is in it. It's got a little mirror that I painted black for whenever I try to scry. I scry more in my tea in the morning than I do with that, but still, like, you make it work with you. And if you have to constantly be in a cleanse space to read your cards, the world is messy, okay? You can't always do this. I would carry my cards with me to class and do my daily draw in class before it would start, okay? And I would take pictures of it and post it on Instagram and all that kind of stuff, okay? You read where you're comfortable and where you want to. If you want to bring an altar cloth with you and go sit outside and do your reading, go for it. Totally up to you. The world can be your altar. But make sure it fits with you. That's the amazing thing about tarot, is it fits with your lifestyle and your practice. Okay? And it says, what happens though is that the more you read, the more perceptive you get, and in certain cases, if you have a certain level of mediumship, you start hearing things, so the myths work. Yeah. That's when it comes down to what your abilities are. Yes. Because it is a tool, the more you use it, the more other abilities will pop up. Okay, that's how I unlocked all of my abilities. I freaked the hell out for the very first time. I got a paid reading, and I started hearing ESPN, like literally like the football channel, while I was in the middle of doing a reading. And I kept seeing this guy in like in a lazy boy chair watching TV. I freaked the hell out because I was like, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to tap into a guy in the first place. I'm trying to tap into this chick. Didn't realize until after I sent it off, I was seeing and hearing the woman's husband in that exact moment that I was doing the reading. And that's what he was doing, and that's what he continually did instead of talking to her. So that's weird things will happen. Like another thing, I first, like this year, not this year, but last year around Halloween, you know, when the veil was a little bit thinner, because when the veils are thinner, more things will happen and you'll bump up on your energy. This little boy popped up in my basement where I was living with my family. And he kept turning on my daughter's toys. And I couldn't figure out why. And he kept turning on the light. And it freaked my husband out because he says too many paranormal things happened to him. But at the same time, I was like, there's this little boy trying to get here. Okay, I am trying to sleep right now. I will talk to you when I wake up. So, talked to him when we woke up. Found out he was trying to find his grandmother. I was able to track down the woman he was trying to talk to. I was in a free group at the time. Was able to go ahead and get his message to her, and he went ahead and left to go spend Halloween with his grandmother. Did I expect that to happen? No. I had no clue where to find this woman. But it happened. You know? And that's perfectly okay. People will get weirded out from the things that pop up. You might get a little bit scared. Perfectly normal. Share it in the group. Talk to me about it. And it's okay. It's really okay. It doesn't mean the cards are evil. It just means that you're a medium. It happens. First it says, part of my altar is in a drawer. Protects the energy and me, but I get your point. Yeah, exactly. Nemo says, how do you clean energy between readings and ground? Good question. Good question. What I like to do, I find it a habit. For example, if I sit here and shuffle, 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 I like to tap the back of the cards. Honestly, shuffling the cards is enough to clear it. But I like to be safe and do that. Grounding, put your feet on the ground. There was a technique. I've done this with a couple ladies here from different groups, and we did a spell together, and I kind of did this afterwards. Easy way to clear yourself of any negative energy. Brush yourself off all over the place. Shake your head, get it all out, step back. Done. Easy way to clean it off. Easy way to cleanse. Learn that from acting. That's an actual warm-up when you're doing character work, which is going to come in handy later on this year. But that is something to keep in mind. Like, that's an awesome, quick way anywhere to go ahead and cleanse and shake off and get grounded. Catherine says, I remember that. Yeah. Exactly. Okay, another myth. Like, you are not valid unless you are 100% accurate right away. Whole honky. No. This breaks it down to a couple of different things. Okay? It's a timing issue. Your timing's off. Specificity in your wording. If you mess up the wording, you're gonna mess up when, like, the answers that come out. Some people will never be happy unless you tell them the answer they want to hear. Now, if you want to make easy money, go for it. If you want to be the healers that I know you are and the readers that I know you are, you're going to be straight up front and you're going to tell them the issue. And you'll say, I know it's not what you wanted to hear, but remember, things can change. The world is constantly changing. It's perfectly okay to be upset. Don't take it out on the messenger. I'm interpreting. They'll take it out on you anyway, but then they'll realize a couple weeks later, holy crap, she was right, or he was right. Also, another thing that kind of goes along with tarot cards are evil, and I'm hearing things, not everyone's abilities or card style is the same. We got a question like a month or two ago. I didn't forget, can't remember who asked it, but I remember, who had a hard time shuffling their cards in a certain way. Cannot remember who it was. But you can shuffle your cards in any goddamn way that you want to. I've seen people, from my Magic the Gathering days, I would lay down one card at a time. That way they would know that I did a good shuffle, and then the other person would have to cut. But because I've done online, I would do as you saw, where it's just a quick, like this, and whatever cards come up or come down is the thing. I've seen people do 78 card pickup, fling them up in the air, and then pick them all up, and it'd be shuffled. I don't personally like that, because I'm like, cards ground, but that's just me, you know? You can do them Texas Hold'em style, where you're literally playing a game of cards and, like, do all the stuff with your hands. If you want to do that, go ahead. Some of my decks, I'm like, I don't want the cards to bend, so I personally will not do that. But, depending on the deck, I might. Fit what your hands do. If you have to do the cards sideways and not vertical, go for it. There are so many ways that you can shuffle. And there's so many ways that you can interpret a card and read a card that's coming from your intuition. And when you own control of your intuition, and you own control of who you are as a person, like, none of these myths are gonna matter. Because you're like, I know who I am. I'm set in who I am as a tarot reader, and I am totally fine. Like, this is a very passionate day, because you guys are amazing, and I'm like, continue with it. Like, keep going. I think the cards out loud and kiss them. Is that weird? No! You like it. And no one else is touching your cards, so you can make out with them if you want to. I don't care. It's totally up to you. Some people touch them to their forehead, touch them to the third eye. That's a good point, Ellen Ed. Own your own energy. Don't be told or judged by anybody else. Own your style. Exactly. Nemo, is it weird if some decks feel like it wants to go back into the bag and be mixed up and you pick it up like a bingo number? No, you can. My Tea Leaf Fortune, that's exactly how you're supposed to do it, because there's over 200 cards. Okay? You're supposed to put them in the bag, mix it up, pull it out, mix it up, pull it out. That's what you're supposed to do. Because there's so many. If you want to put them back in the bag or in a bag and mix them up like that, totally a valid way to mix it, okay? And then, if you do that at a festival or read for someone in person and do that, they can't say that it's not random and that you're faking it, because you're literally putting your hand in a bag and going like that. Like, so you're totally valid. You're totally into it, okay? And really, all the myths, including the ones that I gave you guys, are so subjective, okay? There aren't as many rules as you think there are to reading tarot. Really, if you picked up a regular deck of playing cards, you could read that way. Because the original tarot deck, all the majors were trump cards. Okay? They were like the Joker for our regular set of playing cards now. And all the rest, if you pay attention to it and you count it out, they're all the minor arcana. You could totally do that. Okay? You can take just your majors out and do just a reading with your majors. That's totally valid and totally okay. There are not as many rules here as a lot of people are led to believe. Okay? And you as readers, you're so incredibly powerful. Like, I read every single question, like the 2 questions that I have you guys answer when you get into this group and that are needed, because I need to know exactly how committed you are to reading intuitively and expanding your practice and where you've come from. So many of you are like, I've been reading for 20 years and I've just lost a passion in my cards and I want to try reading intuitively because it's something new and I need a change. Or I'm 100% new, I'm scared to touch them, I have no clue what the meanings are, and intuitively reading sounds right for me. It frickin' is. For both sides of the spectrum and everywhere else in between. Like, you joined this group for a reason. Some of you clearly put as an answer, I don't know why I picked this group. Like, I didn't find you from YouTube or Pinterest or read your blog or anything like that. I just like the vibe and I feel like this is a cozy, warm place for me to read. Welcome. Like, welcome. I'm totally okay with that because you're being honest and out the gate you used your intuition. Out the gate. And that's all I want you to do. That's why if you post and you're like, I don't know what these cards mean, try first and then I'll come help you. I want you to use your intuition. The more you use it, the more you practice, the better you're gonna be. Exactly. And it's so refreshing to see you guys interacting. Never worry about taking up too much space in the thread by asking questions. Never worry about that. I welcome questions. I love questions. Put them in the group so everyone can see. That's why I don't put any blocks on what you can post. Okay? I have no problem with it. And that's why I created this group. So it's a warm, cozy community. Literally, because we're all visual people here. Get that 10 of Pentacles vibe of you come into the house and there's a bonfire and you're having s'mores and you're reading cards. That's the vibe. So come out with your s'mores and talk. Talk to me. Ask questions. Share your daily draws. Share your tarot journals and your meditations that you did with the cards. Ask your questions about reading intuitively. Because that's why I became a tarot mentor in the first place, was to be the teacher I wish I had. And to be that kind of person for you guys. So I want you to do all that. And then I don't want the momentum to stop. Okay? You guys have made a million freaking breakthroughs this week. I don't want you to just stop here. Because it's easy after a challenge, after any kind of challenge, whether you do them for business or for personal development, to put a halt to it and stop improving yourself. And so many of you have expanded within the past couple of days. You've realized how to officially talk to your cards, interpret them, create your own spreads. You've done so much stuff that it's easy to put it in the closet and to stop. But the more you use your intuition and the more you do things to improve it, the better reader you're going to be. And that blossoming, powerful, just incredible person that I know you are on the inside and I can see in everybody is going to come out even more. Okay? And that's why I created this group, and that's why I created my intuitive reading course. Okay? And even if you feel like you need a little bit of help, that's why, again, I'm here as a mentor. Set up a coaching session with me. I'm happy to meet with you one-on-one, okay? And I know that it's working. I know you guys are into this because I'm getting emails from you saying the content's amazing. I feel awesome. I've never connected with my cards like this before. Good. Keep going. Like, if I didn't give myself that pressure every day, I wouldn't be the reader that I am now, and I wouldn't want to teach it, okay? And even the ladies in my course that are currently there now, I push them the same way. Like, keep going. Talk to me about it. Like, if you got questions, send me emails. Like, Lisa sends me a million emails. And I love them all. Keep sending me emails because I want you to improve and I want me to improve, okay? So, I want you guys for today to do the workbook. Ask yourself the questions on what is keeping me from improving my practice and what's the next step for me. And then I want you to sit down and figure out why, like, what fears are holding me back from being the best reader that I can be. And share them in the pin post. Like, this group, 100% inclusive. No problems, okay? And I've done videos before where I'm like, everybody, as long as you have an open mind, I don't care. Say what you want, okay? So there's no worries with giving the wrong answer here or saying too much. Go for it and I'm here for you, okay? I'm trying to make that very clear. Latanya says, I read intuitively for 20 years and finally dived into learning the symbols within the past couple years. That's awesome. This group is like a family. Yes, that's the goal. Seriously, look up the song Come On to My House. I can't remember who it's by. It's like Donna something. But it's this woman who's like, I'm going to give you a Christmas tree. I give you candy. Come to my house and we'll have fun. Seriously, come in here. Let me teach you. Let me be that push, that coach. Like, I'll make sure that you're nurtured and that your intuition blooms. Come to the group. Come in here. Ilona says, yes, I'm getting so much more from readings and my cards. I feel so confident in my intuitive interpretation. Yes. In the relationship with each other. For myself, fear of judgment, whether judgment of woo-woo or that my reading will be wrong. And that's another thing for this group. I've been that woo-woo person in the corner that's been judged. So this is the group for people who have experienced that in a place where you can explore. So even part of learning tarot is exploring your spirituality, learning the different symbols and what they mean to you. So if you love the frickin' Ankh on the Emperor, friggin' post about Egyptology. I love Egyptology. Like, if I could be an archaeologist and go to Egypt and live there, I totally would. At least I would have at some point. Like, share, and it'll be amazing. So I have to cut today's live stream here because I have a meeting in 2 minutes. Meetings all day, meeting with students and realigning chakras and mentoring with their tarot readings and everything. So I gotta cut it here. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this challenge and I want you to continue growing. Keep taking advantages of the challenges in the group. Take advantage of my course, okay? Because all these challenges, even if there's a workshop that gets wiped away, like the Shadow Work workshop, you'll get it if you get the course. Okay? So, you need to take advantage. So, I hope everybody has an awesome Friday. I will see you in the group, and I love you guys. You're awesome. See you guys. Come on. If it turns off.